Good morning, one and all. Today's topic is resin cements. These resin cements are low viscosity versions of restorative composites. They are clinically popular luting cements because of higher mechanical and aesthetic properties for luting indirect restorations and its special application of adhesion to the tooth structure as well as to the restoration. It's majorly composed of diacrylate oligomer diluted with dimethacrylate monomers, and the fillers are silinated silica or glass. It contains an initiated and accelerated system of peroxide amine. ISO has classified resin cement based on its polymerization, that is self-cure resin cements, light cure resin cements and dual cure resin cements. In this slide you can see the two pictures of resin cements. One is a single tube and the other one is contains two tubes. The first one is a multi-link variant of Ivoclar company, which is a self-cure cement where it dispense the cement onto the mixing pad. The second picture shows a base and catalyst tubes of dual cure resin cement, which is a variolink of Ivoclar company. It is available as powder, liquid or paste. It has to be manipulated thoroughly by rapidly mixing with minimal air inclusion to attain uniform mix. For a self-cured resin cement, it is available as powder liquid system as well as two-phase system. In powder liquid system, it contains 4-meta. In two-phase system, it contains bis-DMA resin and silinated quartz filler. This self-cured resin cement has to be manipulated on a mixing pad for 20 to 30 seconds. The light cured resin cement is 1 and 2 component system. It contains a bis-DMA or UDMA. The photo initiator here is a camphoraquinone. These light cured resin cements are photo initiated by camphoraquinone or amine system that does not require any prior manipulation, which contains only a base paste. Whereas in a dual cure resin cement, you have two tubes, that is one is a base paste and the other one is a catalyst paste. This is like self-cure resin cements. This dual cure resin cements also has to be manipulated prior on a mixing pad before application it onto the prosthesis. It has to be thoroughly cured once after apply on the fitting surface of the restoration for 60 seconds, and the maximum properties are attained after 10 minutes after polymerization. The physical properties of any resin cement mainly depends on the filler content, like our composite restorations. What are the effects of these resin cements on the underlying pulp? Like any other symptom, it has its biocompatibility issues because of improper seating or polymerization shrinkage, which subsequently leads to micro leakage and pulpal sensitivity. This is one of the major concern of any resin based materials. The physical properties here include a compressive strength of 50 to 224 megapascals, which is sufficient enough to withstand the occlusal forces from the overlying prosthesis. The tensile strength is 37 to 47 megapascal, whereas the elastic modulus is 1.2 to 10.7. The bond strength to the dentin is 11 to 24 megapascals. As these resin cement, unlike other cements, they micromechanically bond to enamel and dentin. So, the bond strength to the tooth structure is very important to withstand the occlusal forces received from the overlying prosthesis. What are the major advantages of these resin cements? As we know, these cements has a greater mechanical properties, higher strength, and it is very less soluble in the oral fluids. If you see the zinc phosphate, zinc polycarboxylate or other luting cements, they have the tendency of dissolving in the oral fluids, but these resin cements are less insoluble in oral fluids compared to the other luting cements. That is one of the major advantages of these resin cements, and it has a greater adhesion to the tooth structure by micromechanical bonding, and these resin cements are available in various shades so that these can be used for porcelain veneers. So, usage of these resin cement does not affect the shade of the overlying porcelain veneers. So, the major disadvantages, as I told you, any resin based materials they have the effect on the pulp because of the polymerization shrinkage and the pulpal sensitivity, and it is also a bit technique sensitive because you have to manipulate the material and have to apply bonding agent and then apply the resin cement. You have to cure it as it involves a multiple steps. It is a bit technique sensitive cement, and it is also difficult to remove the excess cement. So it is very important for this cement has to be removed even before a proper setting of the complete setting of the excess cement has to be removed after placement. And one more thing we have to keep in mind is these resin cements before placement, it has the tooth structure has to be thoroughly clean. If any eugenol based temporary cement is used for provisional restoration, they have to be clean because the eugenol present in the temporary restoration will hinder the polymerization of the resin cements. This is also one thing we have to keep in mind while using our resin cements. There are numerous applications of resin cements, not only for luting cast crown or porcelain fused metal restorations or ceramic crowns, cast post and core. It is also used for fiber post, orthodontic brackets and also porcelain veneers. Self-adhesive cements, these are nothing but a newer form of resin cements. Now, they are the dual cured cement most effectively bond to the dentin. They are aesthetically suitable for cementing all ceramic crowns, porcelain inlays and onlays. These cement does not require an intermediary step like application of the bonding agents, because these self-adhesive cements itself has an acidic monomers. They are sufficiently enough to produce self-adhesive properties. So, here I conclude the resin cements are used for luting, indirect restorations, especially aesthetic restorations like porcelain veneers, inlays and onlays and fiber posts. Thank you.